Hey, my beautiful peeps, locking down the truth with Marci Lock. Sharing with you the awesomeness that I'm enjoying right now. You can see kind of like a ton of surfers just catching some of the last waves before as the sun's going to start going down here in a little bit, and enjoying the sunset to come down. And today I coached one of my mastermind groups, my Mind Body Breakthrough Mastermind group, and then I coached in my Elite 6 Mindset of Business group, and then had a couple international summit calls, things, podcasts that I was on. And what I found out of all of it, in every single bit of it, you know, I get interviewed and it's like, oh, what's the number one thing you can help people do to break through in their business, and da 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 da. And the thing that I notice that always comes up is that there is this judgment around, we judge everything in boxes and parameters. We put everything in a box and a parameter, and when we do that, it keeps us from moving forward because we see things as good or bad or wrong or right or this or that or failure. Instead of, if none of this ever existed, this is what I want you to just kind of question and look at. If none of this existed, if everything was okay, what would you be experiencing? Is you just see everything as perfect, beautiful feedback, to then look at it and go, oh, okay, so what else would I get to do? What else do I get to try? And it kind of reminded me this morning, I was at the gym, and you know, I fried out my legs pretty damn good, and then I went and I was like, oh, I'm gonna do some box jumps. You can hear where this is going. And the first time I went to jump up, I totally about face planted it. I went about it, you know, didn't kind of like position myself or whatnot, and I was like, huh. And instead of me going, oh, I feel like an idiot, that didn't look the right way, and walk away, it's like, oh, okay, so I want to do box jumps, so what do I get to do? And I got to kind of like shift and prepare myself and get ready and kick ass on box jumps. And it's because I have this training of my mind to always look for solution. And I just want you to consider this thought. This helps my little boys all the time, as I always say, are you looking for blame or solution? So if you're looking for blame, what you're going to find is more reasons, more problems, more obstacles. And it was Henry Ford who said that you find the obstacles when you take your eyes off the goal. So instead, if we could just always be looking at the goal, and yet I always say, put your head down and just, what's the next step? What's the next step? What's the next step? But then we're always moving towards the goal. But what if you were always looking for solution, and every question you asked yourself was about how to find that solution? What else can I try? What else is possible? What if every perception was how you find that solution? What if everything was moving towards solution versus the problem, the obstacle, the challenge that you're having? It was about, how would I get closer to this, a step at a time? And that is the greatest thing you can do to allow yourself to keep moving forward. I wouldn't be where I'm at today, and I was just like evaluating on this call of how different my life is. They were asking, you know, how do you go from being a single mom where you're doing everything, and you know, I had a $2 an hour waitress job, and I'd work till 2 in the morning, and then get up at 5 a.m. so that I could get in my workout and take care of everything and do everything. My experience today is completely different, but it's only different because I started somewhere, and I started to shift my beliefs and things I was worthy of, and everything that showed up as resistance that looked like failure, etc. Just like, okay, well, what's next? Okay, what's next? Okay, what's next? How else can I create this? How else can I create this? How else can I create this? And continuing to move forward, always looking at the goal to be living here, to be doing this, to be experiencing a fucking fantastical life. And that was just really the message that was kind of coming up as I was sitting here just tuning in and enjoying the sun and feeling awesome, and, you know, celebrating the success of the day, and just really like, wow, if we all just dropped the stories and attachments and just chose to simply always focus on the goal. What's the next step? How can I go towards that solution? Guess what? Tomorrow's greater, and the next day's greater, and the next day's greater, and the next day's greater, and your life just gets more fucking fantastical every single day. So I hope you choose to implement that and create a different experience for yourself. This is Marci Lock, reminding you, power choice is yours. Choose your best life. Lock it down.